Yo.
Hey, shalom, Michael, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rakakadash.
the honors of the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us the truth and that's teaching us truth. Much peace, love, and salutation to the elect, beginning with 144,000, as well as to the large multitude that will believe upon the testimony of the prophets. Our Great Millstone Dallas, coming back today with another live class. And today what we're going to do is go into Isaiah the 30th chapter. And through the Spirit, just wanted to go through this chapter, just going in on the fact of how these Jakes, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, are still trying to trust in a system that's set to be against them. When it comes to Joe Biden, and how this nigga done failed you. Now they're trying to turn to Donald Trump, thinking that it's going to be new on the other side of the coin. It's going to be a new leaf being turned in the sense of, we're done with Joe Biden. Now Donald Trump is going to get us out of this scenario situation. When at the end of the day, they're devils, man. And the real message is to turn back to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Turn back to the one that's putting this hell upon you for he's the one putting the hell on you for a reason. You see, but Jake want to trust in oppression. You see, they want to trust in a system that's not set up for them. And here it is. Whether it be Joe Biden, whether it be Donald Trump, at the end of the day, it's all part of the same system that's set to keep you oppressed. And that's where Jake falls when it comes to understanding. But only the elect are going to get at the end of the day. Jake gonna fall into the traps and the snares. But when you read Isaiah the 30th chapter, all right, it goes into that. It goes to the fact of how they trust in Egypt. You see, but they don't want to stay upon Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So without further ado, if any other Akim have any opening precepts that they want to grab before we start.
I got one. This is Isaiah 36 and 6, unless we're going to bring that out later.
No, you got it.
Okay, it says, Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. Even so is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him.
Mm-hmm. So it says it's like a staff, it's a broken reed. If you lean upon it, if you want to rely upon it for stability, it's going to pierce you. You see? And the scriptures liken Egypt unto America when you read in Revelation the 11th chapter. It says that dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. Right. So these and the pharaohs is Esau, man. Yep. So you got Jake wanting to rely upon a system that's set to pierce him. You see? Like when you read Isaiah the 27th chapter, it talks about he's gonna punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent. Like this devil is dead set on keeping you in a circuit of wickedness. Like it doesn't matter if Joe Biden, it don't matter if it's Donald Trump, it don't matter who. It don't matter if it's Kamala Harris. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. You see? Trusting in the system, thinking the system is going to keep you locked in, whereas like the scriptures already says that Babylon can't be healed, man.
Yeah.
Jake is trying to heal this place. And Esau knows that it's Jake. Jake is a consumer nation. You see? So Jake's going to put their mind, their energy, their spirit into the one to keep this place going. When the Lord already has it set, whereas Babylon is done.
And Jake is tired too. Jake is wore out. Like I said, he's gonna wear out the saints. So they know they can give Jake some, promise of hope, and Jake will buy into it.
Yes.
So the Lord is gonna break, as it says in Isaiah 14:5. The Lord had broken the staff of the wicked. So Jake is leaning on that staff, but the Lord is getting ready to destroy it.
Yep.
And it's already teetering anyway. And the remnant will no longer stay up on him that smoke him.
Right. The remnant, specifically, like the elder said, the remnant, the elect are going, look, it ain't about voting. You know what I'm saying? No. Lean upon Yahweh Hashem. What about the Lord, man?
That's right.
But anybody else? Whoever got it.
Yeah, Proverbs 25:19 right there.
Go ahead.
Proverbs 25:19 in the NLT. Confidence in an unreliable person in times of trouble is like chewing with a broken tooth or walking on a lame foot.
Man, a broken tooth is, a broken tooth that ain't, the elders, but like a broken tooth that the wind hit it, that air, that coldness, it hit it, just annoying,
excruciating,
pain.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
They can't get away from it either.
Yeah.
Right. And it comes and it's just like it comes randomly sometimes. Like you can't get away from it. You know, that's Jake in the system. Continual annoyances, man. Continually harassed. You know, you got to HR.
This is Psalms chapter 118, verse 8. Cool. And it says, and I'm going to read a few verses down, about three of them. It says, it is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes. All nations can pass me round about, but in the same name of the Lord will I destroy them. So it's, at the end of the day, you put all this trust in this man, whether it's Biden, Trump, or whoever. The Lord is in complete control. And it's already destined, it's already written that he's going to subdue these nations anyway. The thing about Jake is they're not spiritual. And they try to put their hope in tangible things, which is why the scriptures say the curses, rather say in Deuteronomy 28, man shall not redeem you. Because when you're in this low state, impoverished, whatever, you're looking for some type of man to help you from these straits. You know, but Jake need to trust in the Lord. That's at the end of the day. Because man is going to constantly disappoint you, constantly bring your hopes down to the point where it's going to bring you to your demise. And we've seen ample examples of that throughout history when Jake tried to put their confidence in man. Verse Samuel 12 comes to mind. You know?
Yeah.
You got it out.
Beautiful. No, beautiful points. Without further, we can actually start on Isaiah 30 unless you have something else. Okay, we can start Isaiah 30.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
That they may add sin to sin. Can you get that word covering for me real quick? It says that they may take in that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit. Can you get that word cover for me? Because it says that they may add sin to sin. You see, because I was listening to Elder Yashalama's lesson about how Jake is now turning to Trump. And it's like now, it's like they're building more debt on top of them, you know, trying to, you know, stray away from Biden, whatever the case may be. They're adding more debt because even going into the covering, it goes into a libation. It goes into a drink offering to another god.
Right.
And you get that word covering.
When you're voting, that's basically, they're not so much worried about the vote. It's your energy.
Yeah.
The fact that you're putting faith in this system is likened unto lighting incense, pouring out a drink offering to another god.
Right. Right.
This is an example of what idol worship looks like in our time. That lesson a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Idol worship is still the main problem for our people.
Yes. Right.
Because they lean on everything else for salvation besides the Lord. A couple of years ago, it was a syringe.
And that's what you do in order to cast something out. You melt something down into a liquid and you pour it over it and it coats it like a you might have like plated gold necklace. It's a covering, and you'll do that. And they would do that with idols,
Right.
and cast them into silver or gold and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Like you pour it out. Yeah. Yep. You got it.
Now they're recording it.
Right. No, facts.
Yeah. Everybody's folly is on display.
Yeah.
Whether you want it to be or not. You know what I'm saying? You could try to be discreet, your shit still end up being out there. But that's the time it is.
Yep.
So this word cover is the word nashak. It's Strong's H50 5258, and it's nashak. It says to pour out, offer, or cast.
Mm-hmm.
To pour out, to cast metal images.
Right.
To anoint, like a king, like to anoint his head, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be anointed, to pour out libations.
Pour out libations. To pour out a libation is whenever you will pour out a drink offering to another god.
Mm-hmm.
Like you will pour, like, you know, and you see Jake do that, like this is for the dead homies. You know, had a 40 and pour it out. That's like a libation to their, like, in honor of their dead homie in a sense. That's what a libation is. You know, to pour a wine offering or a drink offering out to another god. Yeah.
This is the word libation in the dictionary. A drink poured out as an offering to a deity.
Mm-hmm.
The pouring out of a drink as an offer to a deity or a god.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So yeah, for the dead homies, you're pouring out to those spirits.
Yep.
Okay.
And the interesting thing is that's what happened in the garden. They covered themselves with the covering that wasn't of the Lord. That's why it says in Genesis 3, verse 7, and the eyes of them were both open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. They covered themselves with a covering that was not of the Lord.
Man.
Even going back to the garden, it's the same thing that's been biting us in the ass. Since then, even Wisdom of Solomon 14 goes into it. The worshiping of idols is the beginning, the end of all, fornication against the Lord.
Mm-hmm. That's not surely die.
Here we go.
That's not surely die. I mean, because
Nah, that's it.
thou shalt not surely die. And that's the thing, like, Esau and the devil, he's putting it out there, like, you know what, if you trust in me, you're not going to surely die. But here it is, you put yourself more and more in debt to Yahweh Basham Shah, trusting in the man and the system that's dead set on keeping you down.
And hates him.
Yeah.
They hate righteousness. None of these presidents are talking about righteousness. They use Trump as this figurehead to kind of say things that line up would be considered righteous. But overall, come on, man, it's a trick.
Oh yeah, when he stood up there at the podium and said 2 Corinthians, he showed his sincerity when it comes to the truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He caught himself going to read the scripture out of 2 Corinthians, and he was like, just like the Bible says in 2 Corinthians, and then he read it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He was all dead and dull, and he usually, outside of that, Trump can get you amped up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But when he tried to go into the scriptures, it was flat and whack. You know what I'm saying? It was terrible, man. 2 Corinthians. That shit was ridiculous.
Yeah, 2 Corinthians.
Yeah.
2 Corinthians chapter 3.
Yeah, I was like, oh, nah, man. Just do what you normally do. Yeah, just do what you normally do, bro.
Deuteronomy 29, and start at verse. Let's see. There's a point. There's a specific point which you start at. Start at verse 14 and read down for me.
This is Deuteronomy, the 29th chapter and the 14th verse. All right, it reads, neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath, but with him that standeth here with us this day before the Lord our God, and also with him that is not here with us this day.
Go ahead.
For ye know how we have dwelt in the land of Egypt, and how we came through the nations which ye passed by.
All right, going to the history of how the Lord delivered us out of Egypt. Go ahead.
And ye have seen their abominations and their idols,
Go ahead.
wood and stone, silver and gold, which were among them.
Go ahead.
Lest there should be among you man or woman
Right.
or family or tribe whose heart turneth away this day from the Lord our God
Go ahead.
to go and to serve the gods of these nations.
Right, which will be a snare and a trap unto us. You see, serving these gods will be a snare and a trap unto us, whether these different nations where we would have to go, if we worship and honor their gods, it will be a trap.
That's right.
Right, go ahead.
Continuing on, verse 19. Actually, 18 again from the top. Lest there should be among you man or woman or family or tribe whose heart turneth away this day from the Lord our God to go and to serve the gods of these nations, lest there should be among you a root that beareth gall and wormwood.
A root that beareth gall and wormwood. Gall and wormwood is bitterness. You see, a root specifically. Because remember, the Lord said in Jeremiah 2, he said that what? He said that how did you become this degenerate plant unto me? Right, so it's going to be a root or a generation that's going to bear this gall and this wormwood. Go ahead.
Verse 19. And it come to pass, when he heareth the words of this curse, that he bless himself in his heart, saying, I shall have peace.
Right, so it is like even with this gall and wormwood and this root, even with them still trusting in the system, they still think that they're going to have peace and oppression. Go ahead.
I shall have peace, though I walk in the imagination of mine heart, to add drunkenness to thirst.
To add drunkenness to thirst. See, Jake is thirsting for righteousness. Jake is thirsting for not necessarily righteousness.
Rest.
They're thirsting for rest. They're thirsting for the answers. But in the midst of
acceptance.
Acceptance, yeah. They're thirsting to be accepted. They're thirsting to be made in a sense of like this is what the truth is. But in the guise of them doing that, following after this system, following after so-called black unconsciousness, the so-called political system, they're adding drunkenness to their thirst. They're being more and more inebriated with being drunk.
Well, Black Lives Matter is a perfect example. Exactly. Just that whole, you make that point all the time. Why are you walking around saying your life matters?
Yeah.
Black life. First of all, you're not black. You know, you're saying you're pleading to be accepted. And under that banner of Black Lives Matter, a complete abominable spirit is being pushed through
that banner of Black Lives Matter. It's a perfect example of what we're reading.
It was anti-Messiah.
Yeah,
100%.
anti the nuclear family,
Yep.
anti everything that the Lord stands for.
Moving the father out the household.
Yep. And that's what Jake got behind with Biden.
Yes.
They got behind pro 187,
Right.
Yeah.
the baby deletion. They got behind the trend. That's what they were behind. Now they're just switching to the. Again, this is Jake walking 40 years in the wilderness.
That's it.
Yeah.
Walking in circles.
God damn.
And they don't plan on stopping.
No, they will walk. Jake will walk in circles continually forever.
I'm saying that's the thing, man. Nothing quenches your thirst like water. You can try to drink anything. I'm saying you can try to drink all kind of stuff, but you still gonna be thirsty until you finally drink some water.
Imagine doing a boxing workout and then you go have a big ass cup of vodka.
Yeah, that's
You
what I'm
gonna
saying.
get through. Like you gonna get
You know what I'm saying? It's a reason. It's a reason why when you see all these sports and these events and all that, is water on the sideline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just give a nigga no anything. He out there giving his all.
Yeah.
You know?
Casamigo, the big ass bottle of Casamigo.
You know?
You don't pour it up.
Yeah, you got to right there. Yeah. I'm saying the being washed with the water of the words. You know what I'm saying? They want to try anything but.
Yeah.
Anything but.
That's how you
Biden. I would say Biden, Trump, MC Hammer. Who next?
The nigga from DC, Run DMC,
Run
want
DMC.
to be the president now.
Yeah, they're being led into a civil war, all right, using the two horns like a lamb.
That's it.
When you look up that word horn and two horns like a lamb, it's a savior, a mighty helper. Right? That's what they're setting Donald Trump up to now. First it was Biden, then first it was Obama. It's years and years of constant failure dealing with these people.
Yep.
That's why we don't have the burden of being worried about that shit.
Yeah.
The failure ain't even well kept no more.
Right.
It's just failure.
Their behavior patterns show that they're not comforted.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't trust it. They don't trust in delayed gratification. They want it now.
Yeah.
It's my money and I need it now.
They ain't getting it.
And they ain't getting it though. You know?
They haven't got it.
Yeah. You got it.
This is back in Isaiah chapter 30, verse 2. It says that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked in my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt. So when you see a shadow of somebody walking, if the sun is outside and you see a shadow, you see an image of something. But it's not necessarily really there. It ain't like the shadow's gonna be there like Noob Saibot in Mortal Kombat and start fighting your ass. It ain't like the shadow's not there. Like it's there, but it's an illusion of something. It's an image of something that's there. But but when the sun comes out, or if a cloud comes, that shadow's gonna be gone. Right? Can you get that word? Can you get two words for me? Can you get that word ass for me? If you don't mind, and then also secondly that word shadow.
Right. Shadow's also something you look to go to for shade.
Yep,
When
covering.
it's hot outside and covering.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna realize, that tree was waxed in a motherfucker.
Right. If you can get the word shadow, the other can get the word ass.
This word ask is sha'al. It's Strong's H7592. To ask, inquire, borrow, beg.
Beg and borrow, inquire. Go ahead.
Like,
Yep.
to ask, borrow, to inquire of consult of deity or oracle, to seek.
Ooh, it says to seek or to inquire of an oracle. And who is that? The prophets. You see? It says that what? It's given unto us, the oracles of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua were given unto us. So Jake Jake needs to inquire and ask of the prophets of the direction that they need to go. But Jake is asking the devil. They're asking Satan of the direction of where he needs to, where they need to go. But the devil is dead set on keeping you down. You see, but they're not going to go to the prophets. You see, because we're not going to come in that smooth speech that's like it says in Isaiah 29. You know, it segues into Isaiah 30. Like it says, speaking to us smooth things and prophesy deceits. It also says that that you may keep the Holy One of Israel from away from us. We ain't trying to hear that. We don't want to hear about no Israelites. We ain't trying to hear about no America being destroyed. We ain't trying to hear about that, man. Give me Donald Trump. That's who we need.
Right.
And it's like, and we're telling them that ain't the answer. Like, look, it don't matter who it is.
He used to hang with Mike Tyson.
Right.
That's what makes a nigga believe like
Yeah.
all Bill Clinton had to do was smoke weed and play the saxophone.
And he's the greatest president in
Yes,
history.
you know how many niggas have smoked weed, played the saxophone?
That's a population.
Everybody do that. Right. But Jake made an idol out of him because he did that. He's black, man.
Right. He black, man. He smoked weed in the White House, man. Whoever did that, he the greatest. Man, hey, sorry, you already remember how, you know, we growing up with mom and dad, you know, he's Bill Clinton's the greatest president we ever had.
Yeah.
When he was in office, gas prices was low.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, the lowest gas prices when Bill Clinton was in office. You know?
He ruined the generation of niggas through that those 3 strike laws. Something he did.
Yeah. That 3 strike law.
Yeah,
3 strike law.
come on now.
Yup, and Kamala Harris backed that shit up. And just because Kamala Harris was like, I listened to Tupac and I smoked weed before, all the nigga women, all these niggas, oh, Kamala Harris, woo! They started going crazy because she listened to Tupac before, as she said.
Yeah, but she brought out the album. The album wasn't even out when she was so-called in college listening to it. It's bullshit. But real quick,
Man.
these people are completely tacky. Jake's still following after him. But inauguration deals with a prophecy.
Right.
And again, like the scriptures say, where there is no vision, the people perish. Right. Jake is chasing a vain vision. The prophets have the divine communication to tell you what the Lord is about to do, where you need to go. But Jake is still trusting after the devil and his dainties.
It's leading into a trap. Like, it's literally, you see it happen. Like, you see Esau setting up, like, you know, when somebody boxing and somebody setting up a trap with you know, it's like, you see them, like, you clearly see Esau setting the trap. You know what I'm saying? And lure them in. Okay, yeah, you keep doing this punch, I'm gonna lure you in. I'm gonna go back to the ropes. And I'm finna knock your ass out. I got you.
Nelson, bro.
Yeah.
Bent all up.
Man, the cross-faced chicken wing all day, man. You know, Crispin, wow, you got it. You got the word shadow.
Got it right here.
You got it.
So when you go into the word shadow in Isaiah the 38th chapter, the Hebrew word is pronounced shalah or shal. Shal, S-H-A-L.
Right.
That's how it would sound.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go into it, it says shadow or shade.
Mm-hmm.
It says shade or protection. And then it says shadow, symbolic of transitionaries of life. And the Strong's defense says, Strong's definition says defense.
Defense. Protect, like a defense is like this is what I need to defend against what's going on in my life right now. You know, with Joe Biden doing us, I need a defense to protect me from inflation or all this other kind of madness. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna get this real quick.
I got you. Nah, after you get it, I'm sorry. I got to preach.
Please, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is an example in righteousness. Psalms 121:5. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Right.
And for shade, I believe it's the same word for shadow. Yeah, it's the same exact
all.
word. Yeah. Is that what you had right there?
It's the same word. It's the same word.
The same word.
Shade.
Yeah, it's shade.
Shadow. It's a covering, but it's not going to be there. Because when you go into the ancient history of Egypt, Jake at this time, what Isaiah was going into was the fact that the Assyrians was coming. So Jake was trying to make a compact or a deal with Egypt and Ethiopia.
Was it Hezekiah?
It wasn't Hezekiah. It wasn't Hezekiah. This time it was Josiah. When you go into the prophecy of the Battle of Megiddo and how he died pretty much, and he tried to go against Egypt because he tried to make a pact with Babylon, and Egypt was like, "Look, Josiah, fall back. The Lord got me doing this," and Josiah was like, "Nah, what's up with it?" And he ended up getting killed. You know, but at this time, Jake was trying to make a pact with Egypt because Assyria was coming. You see, but Isaiah was like, "No, look. If you make a deal with them, they ain't gonna fall through with the deal that you made with them. They ain't gonna help you, you know." And Jake was, and that's when Isaiah was getting. They was going against Isaiah. You know, at the end of the day, what happened?
Because the king was subject to the prophet.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. And Egypt was always, when you look at the history of it, Egypt was always a safe haven. You know, think about it in the days of Abraham. He went and transitioned into Egypt for a little bit. And then you had that, you had the tribes. They went into Egypt for that little bit. Yahushua, when he was a youth, he went into Egypt. Right. Egypt acted as a safe haven a lot of times. Even Jeremiah went into Egypt, and after he ended his ministry. You know, so Egypt was known as that safe haven around that time. You know, the military and such. You know, the history, the agriculture. You know, a lot of people went over there for that shade and that trust. Yeah. It's the same concept over here within Babylon. You know, the same spirit is back then, which shows you this is spiritual Egypt. You know, it's a melting pot, and all nations are trying to flock over here, especially the Israelites.
Right, right. Because when you get that word Egypt, or excuse me, shadows to Zal, but down here in the Strong's, in the Hebrew Chaldean lexicon, it says covering prophet under figure of sword. So they're coming in the sense of a prophet, in the sense of giving you life, right. But it's a figuratively a sword that's going to be used against you.
The words of his mouth are smooth and butter.
Exactly. That's it. That's it. Words are. Yeah. And then it says covering people of human ally, not the ally of Yahweh Shemal Shah, but a human ally. You see, that's why the scripture says in Jeremiah 17, "Cursed be he that maketh man his arm." Right. You see that trust in man, thinking that man is going to be the one that's going to deliver. You know. That was it.
Back in Isaiah chapter
30. Could you read 30 and 1 in the GNT? I mean in the NLT? I got it.
Yeah, I got it. I figured somebody would want that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Isaiah 30 and 1 in the NLT reads, "What sorrow awaits my rebellious children, said the Lord. You make plans that are contrary to mine. You make alliances not directed by my spirit, thus piling up your sins."
Wow. It says you making alliances, but man, that makes me think of Joshua. You know, when those men made that pact with those Gideonites. You know what I'm saying? They came in a ragtag and with the wine skins. They were looking all dusty. And Joshua was like, yo, yeah, it's all good. We'll make a pact with you. And the Lord was like, man, look, but they didn't counsel with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And they had to stand up. They had to remain firm with that deal that they made with him. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's a Joshua 9 or something like that. It just made me think about that. You got it.
He made them slaves.
Yeah. Afterward. You know, but when you read in verse 14, Joshua, they said, but they did not, it specifically said they did not counsel with the Lord. You see, they didn't counsel. You got to get counsel. You see, but when you want to counsel with the devil, you ain't finna get nowhere.
This is counseling right here.
This is it. That's right. This is it.
I will set up that counsel at the beginning.
Isaiah, when you go down to 30, verse 20, it says that what? It says, thy eyes shall see thy teachers. You know, you got that.
Isaiah 30 and 3.
Verse 2.
Well, you want me to read verse 2 again?
Did you already read that? Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
I can. It says, "For without consulting me, you have gone down to Egypt for help. You have put your trust in Pharaoh's protection. You have tried to hide in his shade."
You have tried to hide in Pharaoh's shade. Yeah. When you go into history with Pharaoh, he was trying to kill your ass. You know, he was trying to kill you.
Yep.
You know?
He wanted you for his profit.
Yep.
So the help is in vain. They help you, and the guys are helping you, but it's really to draw you in. But if they need Jake, and I'm seeing it more and more, Esau needs Jake spirit to forward his shit.
Yeah.
They need Jake going off, they need Jake confused in order, and they put it on display.
Yeah.
It's literally associated with both parties are using now. Yeah. Trump is associated with Jake.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And it's like even all the other nations know that. They know that hey, these people are just a way to make money off. You can make money off of them. In Isaiah the 36th chapter, the Syrian king, he sent the messenger, and he even made that statement to the council with Israel. He said, Egypt's unreliable.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I'll go get it. Yeah, he told him, he was like, y'all got y'all faith in Egypt? He said, y'all can't lean on them. I'll go get it while you
Yeah, no, it was Sennacherib. Yeah, you can run and grab it.
Yeah, I mean, with all the different ties that they had with trade and everything like that, Egypt had his own thing going. Had his own thing going, and they were too expensive to try to outright fight it. Sometimes it's just best to make a deal instead of burning your bread trying to take someone down.
Yep, that's right.
It's Isaiah 36. I'm gonna start at verse 5. This is what the messenger said to to Israel. He said, I'm reading the NLT. Isaiah 36 and 5. Do you think that mere words can substitute for military skill and strength? Who are you counting on that you have rebelled against me? On Egypt? If you lean on Egypt, it will be like a reed that splinters beneath the weight and pierces your hand. Pharaoh and the king of Egypt is completely unreliable.
Right, Esau, man. Esau unreliable, man. But the thing is, if you're not gonna know that, understand that, if you're not in the scriptures to understand that this man has a deep hatred for you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a hatred, and it's a rivalry that goes back to antiquity, going back to Cain and Abel.
It's embedded in his programming to be that way towards you.
Never trust our enemy.
Yeah, Ezekiel 35:5 tells you that he has a perpetual hatred for Israel. That's nonstop.
When you get that word perpetual, that word in Hebrew is iwalum, which means going to antiquity or continue of old.
Yeah, right.
You know, and that old hatred goes back to, man. Esau got a hatred going back to Cain, like I said, Cain and Abel, going back to Genesis. He said, "What? The days of my father is at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob." And that ain't never changed, man. It's just now you don't have natural shackles of iron on your neck and on your hands and on your ankles, man. You see? Yeah. You tied down and locked down by these laws, you know, by these different penal codes that he set up, quote unquote social security, you know, philosophies,
That's
doctrines.
what the scriptures talks about in Isaiah 61, like proclaim liberty. This is what we have is liberty. We've been liberated from that bullshit. Because that BS that Jake is into, it comes with like it becomes a worry.
Weighs you down.
It's a burden. Jake is like serious Trump, Biden, you know, Democrat. Like it's like a
plague of the mind.
It's a big plague, bro.
Yeah.
And when you look at them, they like serious.
And that's the only options they got. That's the only options they got.
Serious, bro.
Could
They
you
eat
imagine?
them grits and them eggs and then baked bacon, and then they watch that news.
Right, that's right.
And they like, nigga, this is how whatever they say, nigga, I'm gonna figure. I'm gonna be mad with what I'm gonna be mad about. Come from the news. I'm gonna be happy about. Come from the news.
Exactly.
That's their option. They're in captivity to that shit. That's a
That's a snare
man.
for your ass,
Man.
Esau is the master. The so-called white man, he's the master witch. Like he's a warlock. Like he knows what gets Jake to tick. He knows it systematically, scientifically. He puts it in the food, the water. Like he'll put it on the news. You know what I'm saying? And he'll have these different newscasters talk, and they all saying the same thing over and over, like literally word for word saying the same thing.
And then it's like that Saw movie, that with Jigsaw. He put you in a position where you got three options and all of them are terrible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the state Jake is in. You know what I'm saying?
Movies, respect.
Yeah.
You gotta do this or else you go. You
Yeah,
gotta put your eyes out to get the key.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I'm
damn,
saying.
I gotta go blind to get the key.
When spiritually you repent and sell out to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and you can miss us with all that.
But
You know?
because he's gonna protect you.
That's right.
If you believe that, though, you know.
This is back in Isaiah chapter 30, verse 3. But by trusting Pharaoh, you will be humiliated, and by depending on him, you will be disgraced.
Wow.
For though his power exceeds Zoan, and his officials have arrived in Hanes, all who trust in him will be ashamed. He will not help you. Instead, he will disgrace you.
Right. He's not going to help you, man. He's not going to help you, man. He's not going to get you out of this situation of, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote, man, we dealing with inflation, we dealing with this, we dealing with that. You know, Biden didn't do it, you know, like that one black woman. You know what I'm saying? She was on there like, I voted for Biden, and now I see like it wasn't the greatest decision. What about choosing Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man? What about choosing the Lord? You know? But Jake don't. But Jake would rather trust in oppression and trust in the sword that's gonna kill their ass, man.
And those leaders strip the flesh.
Exactly.
You know, when you read Ezekiel 37 and talk about dry bones, the reason Jake is dry bones is their leadership.
Right.
Who they listen to, like, you know,
Language gates.
Yep.
Facts. That's right. You can put that real quick.
It's Isaiah 19:11. It says, "Surely the princes of Zoan are fools."
Right. Surely the princes of Zoan are fools, which goes into the pretty much that the Zoan was like a city for that was a set up for the chieftain or the captains, if you will, of Egypt. Zoan, right? So it says, surely the princes of Zoan are fools. Go ahead.
The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become
It's
brutish.
become stupid, foolish, dumb. Like really sit down and listen to what Joe Biden is saying. Like if you really just for any kind of newcomers that could be listening to this video that could still be in this political sector of voting and all that kind of stuff, really just sit down and listen to what Joe Biden or listen to what Donald Trump, listen to what they're saying. Like y'all voted this man to be in office, but like really listen to see what he's into. See, like really just sit down and listen.
We're
It's
literally
foolish.
Arguing is a man, and a woman.
This shit crazy.
The
Right.
fact that it's even an argument.
That's that. Like the fact that a woman or a man can marry a railroad station, be identified as a duck,
Bro,
an anteater, you know what I'm saying? Put a helmet on their head. I'm the spaghetti guy, and somebody will literally be like, you know what?
acknowledge that shit.
You know what? That actually sounds kind of good. That makes sense.
We don't
That
know what
makes
a woman
sense.
is now.
We don't know what a woman
All
is
these-
though.
these so-called liberties women have fought for only to get here, and now he can be a woman.
He.
They can be a woman.
And beat your ass at tennis and win the award for being a woman.
Yeah, UFC
And UFC.
whooping the shit out of you. You know,
It's
getting
a,
your ass beat. You got it.
it's a movie called Idiocracy. If anybody's seen it, in the future, Terry Crews is the president, and
Oh,
the
cool.
society has diminished morally and intellectually so bad that these motherfuckers was wondering why the crops wasn't growing because they was watering it with Gatorade.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
They
That sounds about right.
was like, damn, why aren't the crops growing?
Oh,
And the
man.
dude came from the past was like, well, y'all putting Gatorade on the plants, it needs water. And they was like, the shit in the toilet? This,
Man.
I gotta watch it.
it's a, they make these movies just a parallel to what the fuck we talking about what a woman is.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Somebody-
Under these two opposing systems, this is what's coming of it.
Right.
Like you should just wave your hand and go to the Lord. Bro.
This shit crazy.
I'm not gonna argue about you with this shit.
Right.
Man. You know, like no, a woman can't be a man can't be a woman. Stop.
Right. And that's what
Children
the
shouldn't be able to transition. No, bro. This is
The
horrible
kids
counsel.
transitioning to kids.
This is what we talking about. Meanwhile, the water polluted, the earth is destroyed.
Yep. I got a precept real quick. And what's the Second Ezra 11? Let's see. I'm gonna grab it real quick. Second Ezra chapter 13. Second Ezra 13 and I'll read verse 36 and 37. It says, and Sion shall come and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded, which are talking about the elect, like as thou sawest the hill breaking without hands. You see, you can parallel this to Revelation 11. And my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest. You see, so Yahweh Shai gonna come and rebuke all this madness, man. All this bullshit, all these opinions, all these questions, all this rebellion. You know, Yahweh Bashar Shai gonna rebuke all that shit and completely just annihilate it, man. You see, and that's what the wicked is doing. Somebody can identify themselves as they. You know, pansexual. You got it, Yaquad.
I was gonna make a point. That new Transformers show is like for kids. It's like a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the robots was they were asking, "Oh, what's her name?" Oh, and then the little girl's like, "Oh, her pronouns are they them."
Oh, see.
So that's,
I'm not surprised, but like they, they're putting it, they're pushing on the children. When somebody can identify, I'm pansexual. That means that you open to anything that it don't matter. Like you open to smack a damn alligator if you want to.
There's
It
no
don't matter.
lines. That's Romans 1.
Yeah.
But when they put that stuff in the shows for the kids, man, it's like giving your children over the ball.
Literally.
You're giving them over to that mindset, to that way that's contrary, and nobody's mad.
But that's what JB and Donald Trump, they're both pushing that same shit. Like they're both a part of it.
Same coin.
So Jay like, I'd rather be with Donald Trump. I'll vote for Donald Trump. Like you still gonna be in hell. Like you just still a nigga in hell. You still a so-called Latino in hell.
Bro, they gonna give that nigga the presidency in jail, and he gonna be ruling the world from jail in jail.
You seen the T-shirts? They made the Trump mugshot T-shirt. That shit selling out.
It's like you see Trump with a mugshot, he means business. That goes to show what he's about to get ready to do. All right.
What is he saying, dumbass niggas that voted for Biden?
Yeah, it's
The
the
same
same.
niggas that complained about the nigga they was just with a second ago.
Fickle.
We told him.
No.
We told him.
You literally said it through the spirit. You got it.
This is back in Isaiah chapter 30, verse 6. This message came to me concerning the animals in Negev. The caravan moved slowly across the terrible desert in Egypt. Donkeys weighed down with riches, and camels loaded with treasure, all to pay for Egypt's protection. They traveled through the wilderness, a place of lionesses and lions, a place where vipers and poisonous snakes live. All this, and Egypt will give you nothing in return.
You know, you going through the wilderness, man. Lions, bears, snakes, scorpions.
my.
You know, you going through hell. You know,
Desert.
try the desert. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I gotta get Egypt this money. It's like, man, Isaiah, like, man, you doing all this shit, and these niggas ain't giving one protection.
The same nation that your Lord mopped the floor with.
Bag with holes.
You know, damn, Jake is through, man.
Yeah.
You got it.
Egypt's promises are worthless. Therefore, I call her Rahab, the harmless dragon.
Wow.
All right.
Yep, and that's when you get that word Rahab, it goes to their strength. You know, when you get that word strength in the Hebrew, in the KJV, it literally says Rahab, which is the figurative name of Egypt. Their strength, you see, their strength is to sit still. They're not going to help you. Esau, the so-called white man, is not going to help you niggas. He ain't gonna help you so-called Mexicans. He ain't gonna help you so-called Indians. He ain't gonna help you, man. Get your mind out your ass, man. Get your head out your ass and stop trusting in the system, or else.
That's right.
But the thing is, the Lord putting the spirit on you to rely upon Donald Trump, so that he can smoke your ass.
I got you.
You got it.
It's Sirach 12:10 says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as thou hast wiped the looking glass,
Right.
and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away."
There it is. You see, like if you take a shower, you know what I'm saying, and the glass is all foggy, you know, you may see an image or something. You know, you see an image of yourself until you wipe that glass and you have a more clear picture. So Esau is like, man, look, you know, you go crouching, humbling. It's that foggy image, but if you was to wipe the glass, it's still the same devil. He ain't changed. You know, we like to affectionately add genuine, same old E. It's the same old E. He ain't changing, man. He the same old E. He's still the devil. So even if it's
I'm just saying this more to the verse. Verse 12, it says, "Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat."
Right, he gonna seek to take your seat. And look what he doing right now in the land of Israel, man. The JEWs and 1948ers, they seeking to take your seat, man. Claiming to be, here it is. They're the only ones on the planet Earth right now that can claim to have a biblical nationality. And if you speak against that biblical nationality, now it's anti-this. You see, but now you got so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans waking up saying that we're the true chosen people and that we come from the line of Shem. And now it's a problem. But they're doing the same thing. How come that's not anti-Medic? You see? And they're the ones that control everything. They control your media. They control your news. They control the music. They control the food. They control the policies. They control the political sector. They control everything. And if you say anything about that, though, it's a problem. You got to question that. You got to be like, okay, why is it an issue if I say anything against them? You know, why is it a problem if I say anything against them? Now I'm completely blackballed, and now like all my so-called endorsers and sponsors is now just like, you know what, we're done. Why is that a problem?
Got a precept too.
Are you
Finish up with his.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and finish it. It says, "And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that has been with the serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts?" So at the end of the day, all these different options that are being given, these few options that's being given to Jake. You know what I'm saying? They trusted in their enemy to give them the worst possible options. You see? So when you talk about if you didn't vote, you can't complain, and you done stood in line all day, and you got your sticker on and all this crying, ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you. Like all these people that's talking about Trump now, oh man, look, get Biden out of there, man. I wasted my vote. We feel nothing for you. Absolutely nothing. You know?
Right.
You got it, bro.
That was beautiful, man. Like we don't care. Like Elder Bonson probably said, man. You so over here voting, man. Mother, man, fuck you, man.
Yeah. So what?
Why not choose? You ain't choosing the Lord. Ain't nobody say, you know what? Instead of voting, I'm gonna choose what the Bible says. Jake ain't never said it, but they gun ho and believe it in the Bible.
The Bible tell you not to put another person above you. Not to put another nation above you.
Your king has to be for the children of our people.
They'll tell you that the God is a jealous God. My God is a jealous God.
Yeah, and then sit there and make them jealous.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy.
Yep.
Add sin to sin.
That's right.
Like the brother been going into the whole time.
Yep. That's right.
Wow, I said, man.
This is Jeremiah chapter 2, and I'm going to start at verse 9 and read down. It says, "Wherefore I will yet plead with you, saying, Slakia, wherefore I will yet plead with you, saith the Lord, and with your children's children will I plead. For pass over the isles of Chittim and see, and send unto Kedar or Kedar, and consider diligently and see if there be such a thing." And just really quick, when you actually go into this here, he's literally saying, look at these other nations, you know, because he's going to go into how Jake is quick to switch their glory, be wishy-washy, just as we're talking about. Hell, even using Biden and Trump as an example. You know what I'm saying? Jake are the main ones that teeter-totter from here, go over there. That's why he's pretty much saying, look at these nations. They don't even do this shit, but y'all still do it.
Right.
You know? Yep. So when you continue in verse 11, it says, "Have the nation changed their gods, which are yet not gods?"
That's a beautiful precept. Yeah, you got it, bro. Wow.
"But my people have changed their glory for that which doeth not profit. Be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be very desolate, saith the Lord." So he's even saying the heavens are even in awe looking at you niggas. You know? And this is the point right here. It says in verse 13, "For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water."
Yeah, broken cistern, because a cistern in the ancient world was a large reservoir of water that would be stored up. But the bad thing about a cistern was that if the water sits there, it would get contaminated. You see, so it says that they have hewed them out cisterns, broken. So the cistern already can be contaminated, but at this point now it's a broken cistern as the water leaking out.
Right.
So it's a double negative at the end of the day. Like they say, it says, well, why not vote for lesser of the two evils?
Exactly.
The devil, you know.
It's the same thing.
They say.
Right. I'm gonna shoot you in your eye. I'm gonna let you pick which eye I shoot you.
Exactly.
You got it out.
Verse 14, "Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?" And that's the point going into it right there. And it was broken down, self-explanatory. You know, Jacob still got that nigga slave mentality. You looking at these people to be your leaders, but these are the same niggas that whooped your ass 200 years ago, and still got the same mindset and spirit to this day. You know,
To this day, like the devil ain't changed. It's just Esau, is like the scripture says in Romans 11:7. "What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for." Jake is seeking for rest. Jake is seeking for the truth. They're seeking for righteousness. They're seeking for an answer. But the answers that they're seeking for, or that they're going to, it's a weapon against them.
Right.
But the election hath obtained it. You see, we don't stay upon the one that smote us no more, man. You know, you have a nigga tell you, your forefathers fought for the right for you to vote. Why not express what your forefathers fought for? Rosa Parks was on the back of the bus. It was getting shot by water hoses. Like, man,
They fought to be equal with the white man.
exactly.
That's right.
That's what they were fighting for.
Exactly.
To get a place in the kingdom, but Genesis 27 kills that, bro. They got the fatness of the earth. We wasn't made to fit in this fucking place, man.
Right.
Prophecy. People don't understand prophecy, man, gives you a whole different perspective, man, on life, man.
You understand what is.
Exactly.
That's it. You know, this is like Elder Apostle brought the lesson, like, look, this is his kingdom, man. This is Esau's kingdom.
Ain't no forever. Ain't no forever here. Ain't say.
Exactly.
Just keep. He mad from the blessing. He still angry about that blessing. He said, after our forefather died, I'm gonna kill Jacob. That's what's going on today. This is playing out in living color, man.
Yeah. To this day. And it ain't nothing you can do about it, man. Only one that you can rely upon is Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and that's it. If you try to go another direction, you're gonna lose. Mm-hmm. Yahushua said, he said, if you try to climb another kind of way, man, you a thief and a robber, man. You ain't gonna win. You know? You got it already.
This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 8. Go now and write down these words. Write them in a book. They will stand until the end of time as a witness.
To a witness. The Bible tells us that you about to deal with some iron sinew neck ass niggas, man. Some hard headed iron neck niggas that ain't gonna listen to what you're saying. Like iron sinew neck niggas. Got it.
It says, these are people that are stubborn rebels who refuse to pay attention to the Lord's instructions.
You see? Go ahead.
They tell the seers, stop seeing visions.
Right.
They tell the prophets, don't tell us what is right.
We ain't trying to hear what you're trying to say. I don't give a damn about no nation of Israel, Yahushua. That's what they saying. That's literally what they're saying. I ain't trying to hear all that. You know, I ain't trying to hear all that. I ain't trying to hear about America being destroyed, some Yahushua. I ain't trying to hear all that. Give me Donald Trump.
Yeah, they want to see their kids.
I'm trying to get a 401k. I'm trying to see my kids make it. You know? But that's what Yahushua, he said, look, we had no king but Caesar. We had no king but Caesar.
Right.
You know? That's what the niggas was saying.
Barabbas free.
You know, some Barabbas freeing ass niggas, man. Somebody real quick, can you get Jeremiah 11 and start at verse 19 and read down to verse 21?
I got it.
You got it.
It's Jeremiah verse 9. Jeremiah 11 verse 9.
No, not 19.
19.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 11 verse 19. All right, it reads, but I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter.
Go ahead.
And I knew not that they had devised devices against me, saying, let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof,
Go ahead.
and let us cut him off from the land of the living.
They want to kill us, man. They literally want to kill us for telling the truth.
That was a plot against Jeremiah.
That was a plot against Jeremiah. They was like, man, look, we ain't trying to hear that.
I got it in the NLT.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Verse.
Okay, let's read this in the KJV, then we'll read it in the NLT real quick. Go ahead.
That his name may be no more remembered. But, O Lord of hosts, that judgest righteously, that triest the reins and the heart, let me see thy vengeance on them.
He's like, man, let me see the vengeance on these niggas, man. That's the spirit that we in, man. To hell with niggas, man. Like, dead serious, man. Fuck 2/3, man. Straight up, man. I ain't trying to see no niggas that's over here trying to, we got to get along to get along. Man, fuck that, man. Excuse my medieval French, but goddamn, that shit is annoying, man. Jake getting tattoos of Donald Trump on their thighs.
Crazy.
Man, the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kapadat, the Lord is going to kill a lot of niggas, man. Because you want to trust in the society and the system that ain't for you, man.
Hey, what for me? That's Jeremiah 17. It says, woe unto you that trusteth in man and maketh flesh thy harm.
Right.
And earlier in that chapter, it goes into the sin of Judah. You know how it was etched in the stone, written by a diamond. You know, that whole chapter is rebuking on Jake, and it segues into trusting in man. That's what they wanted to do. And you mentioned Barabbas for killers earlier. You know what I'm saying? Those are the same niggas that we cursing out right now that wanted Yahushua put to death and wanted that nigga Barabbas free. And when you read about that, he was notorious as hell. You know, it says notable. When you go into that, he was a national terrorist.
He was supposed to be right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was supposed to be up there.
That nigga was supposed to be locked up.
Yeah.
They was like, we would rather have this nigga out versus righteousness.
Right. And Jake is in that same spirit today when they look at these presidents and such. You know, a lot of these niggas, I wish there was so many things we could say because of YouTube, but a lot of these niggas, Jake be backing up and be wanting to jump over hoops and fight each other for it. The barbershop is niggas that be doing child trafficking and X, Y, and Z and this, that, and the third. And Jake will be gung-ho about wanting them to be their leader.
They will literally say, we got to vote for the lesser of two evils.
That's
You
what
understand that?
That's somebody, and then you can't even tell which one is which.
Right.
You can't even tell which one. Yeah.
Right.
Which one is lesser?
Which one is the lesser of two evils? It's still evil, nigga. God damn, it's still evil, nigga.
Terrible options.
To hell with, man. You got it, brother.
And whether it's a scorpion or a serpent, niggas still will fuck you up. You
Right.
know?
Continuing on, verse 20 it says, "But O Lord," this is Jeremiah 11:20. "But O Lord of hosts, that judgest righteously, that triest the reins and the heart, let me see thy vengeance on them, for unto thee have I revealed my cause."
Right, so Yahweh Bashim al-Shah, hey man, we have revealed our cause, man. Whether Jake want to accept it or not, or hear it or not, man, we're revealing the cause to these people, whether they want to hear it. And people are still like, man, to hell with y'all. All right, cool, bet. Go ahead.
Continuing on, verse 21. "Therefore, thus saith the Lord of the men of Ananoth."
And when you go into the city of Anathoth, that's where the city where the priest resided, by the way. Go ahead.
"That seek thy life, saying, Prophesy not in the name of the Lord, that thou die not by our hand."
Man, we ain't trying to hear what the Lord say, man. Don't prophesy in the name of the Lord, or else we're going to kill you. Go ahead.
"Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, Behold, I will punish them. The young men shall die by the sword, their sons and their daughters shall die by
And
famine."
that's what the Lord is getting ready to bring, man. He's like, man, look, man, the Lord getting ready to wipe out nigga. Like, the Lord is nigga culture, black culture, so-called Mexican culture, so-called Native American culture. The Lord finna wipe that shit out, man. If you ain't trying to hear what I'm trying to say, I'm finna kill you. I'm finna kill your family. I'm finna kill your sons. I'm finna kill your daughters. I'm finna make them starve to death. I'm finna kill them by disease, pestilence. I'm finna wipe all them niggas out. You know? Because they ain't trying to, they're not trying to hear my counsel. So what? I'm gonna make them suffer. And that's what Jake is ready. Jake is getting ready to suffer in a level that we've never witnessed before. 2024,
I got a prison.
man, 2024 gonna be a year. It's gonna be crazy, man.
Like it's gonna be starting soon too.
Yeah. Going into 2024, man, it's gonna be all hell breaking loose, you guys.
This is Jeremiah 9:25. It says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised, Egypt and Judah and Edom, and the children of Ammon and Moab, and all that are in the utmost corners that dwell in the wilderness. For all these nations are uncircumcised, and all of the house of Israel are uncircumcised in heart." So they're gonna get, destroyed together with these other nations.
Right.
When they've been giving it out. We're telling these people that destruction and judgment is coming. That's inevitable. And you can see it even if you don't know the truth. All the whistleblowers see it. Right?
We started at verse 21.
Okay. Let me go back up then.
Jump down,
Yeah, man, but the Lord is giving them out. But 2/3 of my people, which is inevitable, because we, like you said, prophecy earlier, we know that 2/3 of them, they're going to die regardless. Ain't no we can do to reverse that.
They got blooded out too.
Yeah, same spirits. Same spirits that died in the flood, same spirits, Sodom and Egypt, same spirits murmuring in the wilderness. They back here today.
Yep. Crucified.
Yep.
Same spirit.
Just niggering it up.
Niggas gonna dig, man. Niggas gonna dig.
Jeremiah 9:21. All right, says, "For death is coming to our windows, and is entered into our places, to cut off the children from without, and the young men from the streets. Speak, thus saith the Lord, even the carcasses of the men shall fall as dung upon the open field." A lot of death. We used to say in Myrtle Beach, the Lord gonna set a brand new high score on the death toll.
Man.
It's gonna be a new. It's gonna be some shit like, whoa.
Man.
I ain't even read about this kind of death. You know?
50,000 people.
Yeah.
Earth shaking.
Like,
death.
like,
We
whoa.
ain't seen this level of death since World War II.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So bodies on bodies and trenches of bodies in World War II.
Yeah.
Just trenches of bodies for miles.
Just sitting there laying there
You know
dead.
what I'm saying? The earth reared it to and fro like a drunken off that type of destruction, man. Imagine what it's gonna do to the people if it's gonna do that to the earth.
Jake think they gonna be red cupping when the earth is rocking to and fro. Jake think finna like, woo! You know, the earth rocking to and fro with the red cup in the air. No.
All them skyscrapers and buildings falling and that.
Screaming and bleeding.
Tsunamis, volcanoes erupting.
Bro,
Screaming and bleeding.
if you live on the coastline, you're through.
bro, you threw regardless. I'm
Yeah.
adding on to what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, I'm adding on to what you're saying.
Yeah, of
but
course.
you threw regardless. Like, why you think that the Lord gonna have to beam you up?
Right.
If the earth rocking to and fro, you gonna have to get beamed up because if you on the earth while that's happening,
Man,
you think you gonna be chilling? You
man.
gonna be watching the news? No.
It's gonna be very.
It's gonna be a whole other level of just destruction. That's gonna The Lord is gonna make a new thing in the earth, man.
Yeah, you got that super volcano over there in Yellowstone.
Man.
Missile hit that. You're already getting burned up by the missiles. Then now the super volcano going on.
Yeah, the earth rocking to and fro is gonna cause just mayhem in its entirety.
Bro,
Just the chariots coming.
The oceans are lubricated.
Yeah.
They ready for fire.
Yeah, it's all kind of chemicals.
You know what I'm saying? Like bro,
Gas,
like,
oil.
bro. Imagine throwing a lit matches up under your sink.
Yeah.
All the chemicals and all that shit that we got, bro. That's in the ocean, my nigga.
Right.
It's been
The Lord is gonna bring
Methane popping.
Yeah.
the Lord gonna bring, death and destruction, pestilence, fire, flames.
Bro, even with the flood, it said that the heavens opened up.
Mm-hmm.
And all the water that's on the earth already.
Mm-hmm.
Then the heavens opened up.
Yep.
And you know what I'm saying? It was like, oh man.
And the fountains of the deep broke
Yeah.
loose. So you got to think on the ground, on land, it was just water just probably shooting up off the ground.
You know, Sodom and Gomorrah already happened. So Sodom and Gomorrah has been seen on the
After
earth.
that, yeah.
It said that the Lord is going to come with something that ain't been seen.
Yeah.
Rain and fire, that's been seen.
Yeah.
So how much more?
The Lord could do a new thing in the
There's a lot
earth.
of black tar popping up all over the place too.
It's finna get
It's
special.
being coated with fire. This place being coated with fire.
And then think about the oil and gas lines that's under the earth. All this will be breaking for tar and all
Oh my
that.
God.
It's gonna be bad, bro.
New kind of heat.
It's like the earth gonna be passed through the fire, and then what come out on the other end is gonna be the gold nugget.
Right.
Yeah.
You got it.
This is Isaiah chapter 28, verse 21. And it says, For the Lord shall rise up as in Mount Perazim. He shall be wroth as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work, his strange work.
Right. Now, if I may just add on to your point, when you go into that,
Right.
it's going to the times when King David fought against the Philistines at Mount Perazim, when the Lord broke it forth, as well as with Joshua, when Joshua commanded the sun to stand straight. And the sun stood still and did not go down. That was a strange word. That's what it says at that time. That's when the Lord first hearkened unto the voice of man.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. When you read about that, it says that has not happened before.
and that never happened
It was
before.
prophesied in Joshua, we read about it, but it was saying that was pretty much a new thing. You know, or like Moses, prophesying and telling them the earth was going to open up, something that's never happened before. And it actually happened.
Yeah.
So these are new judgments, new plagues, new things that we're getting ready to bear witness to that Jacob's going to suffer from. New shit.
The flood was new.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every time the Lord say he gonna bring a new thing,
It never rained before that, right? It was new.
every time he say he gonna bring a new thing, it's a doozy.
I think about this all the time. Like, I'm gonna give it right back to you. Like, even John the Revelator. We read in Revelation 10, the Lord showed him things, and the Lord told him not to write it down.
Yeah.
So, like, the Lord, like, look, I'm gonna show you this, and John was like, no, but you know what? Don't write this down. Like, think about that, bro. Like, there's things that the Lord told John not to write down that he's seen. So we gonna be seeing shit that's like, what? We might be going trying to go to the scriptures like, whoa, is this Isaiah? Is this in Job?
No reference.
Like, you over there trying to look for it. It's like, where is this at? And it was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, the Lord.
Those are two things that wasn't written.
Yep. That's
Just told not to write it down.
That's right. How I did works that weren't written down. You know what I'm saying? The works that was done that weren't written.
That's right. He's saying what he did.
That's right. And just what comes to mind is Habakkuk, where the prophet Habakkuk is asking the Lord to revive thy works as in the midst of the years. And those works were strange works that was done back then that nobody seen.
Yeah.
So he's asking the Lord, and the same with our prophecy,
Revive it.
the Lord to revive that ancient shit.
Yeah.
The ancient judgment that happened before that nobody bore witness to. And we seeing it. Which is why all this new shit, excuse my French, all this new stuff is happening on earth right now.
Wow. That's heavy. Yeah, you got it, bro.
It's a little more to this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It says, For the Lord shall rise up as in Mount Perazim. He shall be wroth as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work, his strange work, and bring to pass his act, his strange act.
Foreign. It's gonna be foreign to these people. They're like, whoa,
Unusual.
damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, god damn, Leviathan, a big ass sea monster coming out the sea that nobody ain't never seen before. Damn, what is this? You know?
And ain't no telling what's coming with him. Right. Leviathan is the leader of an army.
Yeah, it ain't just one Leviathan.
Man, bro,
Species.
he's king of the. So a king gotta have.
Right.
So, yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying. But let's keep. Yeah.
I got a quick one. This is
It's heavy,
Micah
Right.
chapter,
Yeah.
Micah chapter 7 and 16. The nations shall see and be confounded at all their might, and shall lay their hands upon their mouth, their ears shall be deaf.
Man.
Yeah. You know when Jake, you know Aerosmith lost was wow. It was like shit. Yeah. Coming their mouth. Damn.
Was that everything I saw?
Sweet Hanukkah.
They gonna cover their ears and their mouth. They're like, whoa. You know, like you know that Jake with that hand rag on his head.
I was thinking about
that old preacher we had was passing through. Like Jake is like that white rag. You know.
That's right. That's right. Hey, that's why I said there's something weeping and gnashing of teeth in that day. Yeah,
That white rag.
this is back in Isaiah chapter 28, verse 22. And this is after he's going into bringing to pass his strange act. Verse 22, now therefore be ye not mockers, lest your bands be made strong. For I have heard from the Lord God of hosts a consumption even determined upon the whole earth. So he's pretty much saying, all right, laugh now, cry later. You better not be mockers in that day, because what the Lord finna do, you're going to wish, because it's going to come past the earth. You know, which segues into that precept Yeshua brought. You know, how people are going to react when these things happen. Damn. You know, they ain't going to react like that if it's some normal stuff that's going on. They react like that when it's something outrageous that happens. You know?
All eyes shall see it. All knee, every knee shall bow.
That's right. That's
Like,
right.
something's gonna make that happen.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
bro, something gonna make you bow down.
Yeah.
Like, man, look, like Lord,
Yep.
I know this is you.
Yep.
Please help. And they gonna be calling on Jesus, and the Lord still gonna smoke their ass.
Right.
At that time.
I'm telling you.
God dang, bro.
What your eyes see is gonna force you to bow.
Oh my God. That's right. That's when we think about it. Those like shit. Like
I've seen the Watchmen when Mr. Manhattan was going through the Vietnam.
Yeah.
Splattered everybody, and they all just said, you know what?
We're
Like,
done
we're-
now.
like, we're-
Stop.
Yeah.
We got you, bro.
You
You got it, man.
They put their hands up, put
Yeah.
their rifles down, and down.
Yeah, we don't want it.
This is back in Isaiah chapter 30. I'm going to read the verse 10 again and move on down pretty quickly. They shall tell the seers, stop seeing visions. They tell the prophets, don't tell us what is right, tell us nice things, tell us lies. Woo! Forget all this gloom. Get off of your narrow path. Stop telling us about your Holy One of Israel.
Get off your narrow path. That's what they're saying. Like, man, look. Get off your narrow path. Stop trying to be so disciplined.
Forget the straight game.
Forget the straight game. We ain't trying to do that.
Wow.
We don't want the straight game.
Keep your eyes single.
Mm-hmm.
That's boring to Jake.
Yeah, that's boring. That's boring. It's
It's a
worthless.
responsibility. It's basically Jake not willing. They broke the bond, as the scriptures say. These have all together broke the bond. They don't want to deal with the fetters of wisdom.
Damn.
Discipline. It's like annoying. Discipline is annoying to a nigga.
Yeah. They because it's uncomfortable.
Faith is annoying to a nigga.
Ignorant.
Like, you know, when you go through a detox, it's uncomfortable. You're like, man, I ain't trying to deal with that shit. Nah.
Bro,
When you go through a detox, like it don't feel good. But at the end of the day, when you go through it, it's better. But you gotta go through it. But you gotta get that bitter. You gotta have to go through that bitterness for it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like it had 1 Kings 22. When Micaiah came, he was like, look, prophesy me truth. And then he told him, I think he told him something else.
He told him a lie. He was like, look, you gonna prosper. You gonna be good.
Yeah. And I told you to tell me the truth. And then he told him the truth, and he touched to Jehoshaphat. He's like, see, all he does is, you know.
Yeah. He's like, man, all he does is talk shit. I ain't trying to hear that shit. He's like, tell me what. My guy was like, look, you gonna prosper, you gonna win. He's like, man, man, you lying, bro. I know you lying. Like, tell me the truth, bro. He's like, man, you gonna die. He's like, see, I told you, all you do is just prophesy against me. All you do is prophesy. I ain't trying to hear that shit. You know, that's Jake. Jake is like, man, look, we trying to tell you, like, if you don't repent, you gonna die. But Jake is like, what about America though? What about America? Like, I'm trying to have my kids be raised here. Like, I want a 401k. I want to retire. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, I ain't trying to hear that shit. Some Bible shit. I ain't trying to hear that. I'm trying to, like, give me what I'm trying to hear. Like that nigga yesterday at camp. He walked up at camp yesterday. He was there, but now he walked up at camp. We was going through the history with him, going through it. He didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to hear it. He was like, man, nah, hell no. I was under the great. He was like, yeah. After that, Moses came, right? Oh, shit. He was like, nah, bro. That was 1,000 years before. He said that he got his book bag and walked on. He didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to sit down and just listen. He was through. He literally said that.
Maccabees.
We went to the Maccabees. He was like, yeah, so after that, Moses came, right? He was like, and I started laughing. I was like, nah. He was like, nah, Jake don't know. You know, like, Jake don't really know, so, you know, we got to go back. Like, Jacob don't really know. You know what I'm saying? And after that, he was like, man, Ptolemy, Alexander, Maccabees, Battle of Guatemala. I ain't trying to hear that shit. I'm finna go.
He said that.
No, he didn't say that. Then why he put his book back and walked away.
I was about to say that.
But that's the spirit. Jake ain't trying to. Jake wants things microwave. Jake don't want the full cooked meal. You got it.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 11 says, forget all this gloom, get off your narrow path, stop telling us about your Holy One of Israel. Gloom. This is the reply of the Holy One of Israel. Because you despise what I tell you and trust instead in oppression and lies, calamity will come upon you suddenly.
Wow.
Like a bulging wall that bursts and falls, in an instant it will collapse and come crushing down.
You see that? So just imagine you got a city, like you got a dam, right? You got a dam that holds back the water, right? And you got a city underneath it. And just imagine this dam got the wall, and at the top of it is breaking, it's cracking. You know what I'm saying? You see the water kind of coming through, and eventually it's just throughout time it's just getting weaker and weaker. Water kind of spilling out. Eventually, that city on the bottom with that dam that's holding the water back, it's going to break.
The broken reed.
The broken reed. That's it. The broken reed. You try to trust in this wall, this white plaster wall that ain't gonna work. Right. And you trusting in this wall to hold back the water, and you see the wall breaking though. You see the water coming through it, right? You like, you know what? I'm good. We straight. You know what? I'm gonna trust that the wall just gonna repair itself.
Yeah, it's gonna hold.
It's gonna hold. I'm good. I don't gotta worry about shit. But you see the water breaking through it.
Catching it up.
Put duct tape on it. You see Jake putting duct tape on the wall, spitting shit. Yeah, it ain't gonna work. You got it.
Tape ain't gonna do that.
It says, you will be smashed like a piece of pottery, shattered so completely that there won't be a piece big enough to carry coals from a fireplace or a little water from a well.
Yeah, you're gonna be. It says like, look, you're gonna be crushed to the point that you ain't gonna be no rebuilding. You ain't gonna be able to rebuild Babylon. You ain't gonna find no little pot of water where you put a little water into it, or find a little pot of water to grab a coal and put it back to light the fire again. No, but the scripture says that Babylon can't be healed, man. It's done. Once the destruction comes, it's done. Jake ain't gonna be around Jake ain't gonna survive to allow the destruction to happen and think that they're gonna come out on the other side and the order of the Phoenix gonna come back and we're gonna have this democratic Republican system. No. It's gonna be done. You got it.
You want me to keep going?
But can you read that one more time?
Right.
You want
me to read it in KJV?
You know, read it again. You can read it again in NLT. Right.
This is Isaiah 30:14. You will be smashed like a piece of pottery, shattered so completely that there won't be a piece big enough to carry coals from a fireplace or a little water from the well.
Right. So you're gonna be done. You're gonna be completely destroyed, man.
Yeah.
You know, ain't no healing this place. Ain't no voting for Joe Biden. Ain't no voting for Donald Trump. Ain't gonna heal it. You know, Yahweh Basham Shai has to rise. Look, this is done. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? After that, it's completely gonna be destroyed, man. I got a precept. You got it.
This is Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 11. For behold, The Lord commandeth, and he will smite the great house with breaches, and the little house with clefts. And the great house, this is likened unto a great house. And he says he's going to smite with breaches. That right there, you go to the Hebrew of that is Perez. You know, like Perism. You know, visions, it'll break, it'll collapse. You know, and that's exactly what's taking place. So Jake wants to live into a house when it's been ridden with breaches, and eventually it's going to crumble on top. You know, just like those Israelites that wanted to be up in that house and celebrate Baal under the days of King Jehu. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
yeah. And the same thing under Samson. You know, when he was on the pillars and all the people was in there, he took the pillars down and it collapsed on top of all of them. You know, it's the same concept here when it comes to wanting to keep your heart or your mindset over here in the red, white, and blue. It's not going to work out good for you.
The red, right, and through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. That's it on that precept.
All right. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 16, verse 15. This is what the sovereign Lord, the Holy One of Israel, says. Only in returning to me and resting in me will you be saved.
Right. Only in me. It's the only way you're going to be saved is coming back to me. Point blank, period. Ain't trusting in Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. It don't matter. Look, you're going to find rest in me, is what the Lord is saying. You got it.
I will say, and that's the thing. Jay got all these different options and votes and all these different things. The only time they call on the Lord is when judgment is upon them. You know what I'm saying? God save me. You know what I'm saying? When they on their deathbed or on their way to the only way in the ambulance. That's the only time they call on the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it's gonna go. The Lord's gonna put you in a position to where you're gonna realize that is the only option.
Right.
The Lord. And then he's gonna kill you and bring you back.
Right. Because you didn't.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like Elder Manasazakwa always say, it's a such thing. It's too late, bro.
Yeah.
It's a such thing. I would say, if the Lord wrote it in your story for you to be too late, guess what? That's what's gonna happen to you, man. And we're gonna see a whole lot of too late.
I got something for you. Isaiah 26 and 16. Yahweh, in trouble have they visited thee. They poured out a prayer when thy chastening was upon thee.
There you go. There you go.
Yep.
Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? An atheist would say that. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Any type of pain, any type of affliction, it's the first thing any type of physical affliction, they immediately call on the Lord. But outside of that, as long as they can still talk trash and do them and poke their chest out, as long as they can still do that, you'll never hear the Lord come out of their mouth unless they're talking down or blaspheming. You know what I'm saying? But then as soon when judgment hit, it always say, and they shall know I am the Lord.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So when you in that position that you're in, you're gonna know. The Lord is gonna guarantee. He's gonna make you feel it.
Like Bones does an army, he's like boom, 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 boom.
You know what I'm
He's like when judgment come, nigga, what you gonna do? They're like, what you gonna do when judgment come? Man, they ain't no getting through that shit. Like you gonna have to just deal with that shit, man. You got it.
Proverbs 24, reading to 28. Because I have called and you refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. When ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity.
That's what I'm saying. You put yourself in this shit.
Knee deep in it.
You put yourself in this shit. You know?
Knee deep in the shit.
I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer.
Bro, that's
special.
That's Deuteronomy 28. That's Deuteronomy 28. That's Deuteronomy 28 all day. Look, if you hearken,
I'm gonna bless you.
you're gonna get the kingdom.
Yep.
If you don't hearken, you're gonna get the curses.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
You know what I'm saying? You see? That's what I said. And the Most High cannot lie. He's a man of war. His word don't come out void. He sent somebody to tell you. He handpicked the man, sent him to tell you what's up. That still wasn't enough. You know what? Then he started picking up more men and putting them in more spots and saying it even louder and gave us the internet. It still ain't enough.
He picked up men from the dunghill. That's Samuel 1 and 8, bro. The Lord picked us up from shit.
Yeah.
To polish us up to put us on display to show these fools faith. So through the adversity that we go through, we let them know that there's a living power now. Just like in Egypt, they think there's a God, but we don't know who he is, but it's in Moses and Aaron, just like you said. Yep. The same thing applying, man. Wow. Yet despises and wonders.
Nope.
You know?
Niggas.
Sit. Niggas. You got it.
It's back in Isaiah chapter 30. It says, in quietness and confidence is your strength, but you will have none of it. It says, you said, no, we will get our help from Egypt.
Wow.
They will give us swift horses for riding into battle. But the only swiftness you are going to see is the swiftness of your enemies chasing you.
Right, the only swiftness that you gonna see is your enemies on your ass. That's how you know the Lord is a Jake. The Lord is like, look, you want to be swift? The only quickness that you gonna see is your enemies on your ass. Man, bro, the Lord is the awesome in shape, bro. Like if you want to talk about talking shit, the Lord is the king at talking shit. Like, oh, okay, like if you want to move swiftness and all that kind of stuff, look, the only quickness that you're gonna see is them niggas on your ass. Man. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like nigga from Friday, bite your ass. You know what I'm saying? Bite your ass. Yeah. And watch verse 17. Watch.
One of them will chase 1,000 of you.
One of them is going to chase 1,000 of you. Go ahead.
5 of them will make you all flee.
5 of them niggas going to make every single last one of you niggas run. And that's a curse because, look, in the blessing it says that what? One of you going to chase 1,000 of them. You know? He's like, look, in the blessings, like if you follow me, 1,000, one of you going to chase 1,000. But now you're in a position of whereas 1,000 of you gonna be gone by one of them.
Yeah, them super soldiers and all that. You know, the super soldiers,
Some robot dogs,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they could be able to chase hundreds of niggas.
Niggas got direct energy weapons. They go, bow. You get out your 15 minute, your 15 minute city zone. Bop, you done. Bing.
One drone fly with that protest ass.
Yeah, right. And then they gonna try to wear blue when that shit happen. That shit ain't gonna save you.
I'm with Trump.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They color blue. They try to say that
exactly.
Burn.
Yeah, that blue gonna burn.
The Crips gonna burn. They gonna burn.
The Crips burn.
Fuck that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm with Trump. You always get your ass toasted. Ain't that shit ain't happening. You got it.
It says, 5 of them will make all of you flee. You will be left like a lonely flagpole on a hill, or a tattered banner on a distant mountaintop.
And think about that. When you got a flag on the hill, it's sitting there. But the thing is that the enemy knows where you at. You ain't getting nowhere, bro. Like you put a banner up on a hill to try to get away from your enemy, but you put a flag, you put a flagpole up. The enemy like, all right, well, bet. We know where you at. All right, go get the rest of you niggas. Like, you know, shit is, swinging in the wind.
A distant memory.
A distant memory, and then you thinking like, everybody come up here, and the enemy like, all right, bet. We know where you niggas at. So ain't no look. At the end of the day, the reason as to why this lesson came out with the spirit is the fact that look, trusting in Joe Biden, trusting in Donald Trump, trusting in America, trusting in the Democrats, Republicans, all this madness ain't gonna get you nowhere. You're not gonna find rest in Donald Trump. You're not gonna find rest in Joe Biden. You're not gonna find rest in Kamala Harris. You're gonna find rest in America.
The heathen.
The scripture says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, nigga. It ain't your rest." You see, it says what? It will destroy you with the sword of destruction, man. You're gonna be polluted in this shit. You're gonna be knee deep in the shit, fucking around with America, man. You know, we telling you to repent. Okay, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, repent, man. For the day of destruction is at hand, man, and rest on Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, man. And the only way that you can do that is by listening to his prophets, whether you can receive it or not. You know? Anybody else know anything? Hey, so with that, Lord willing, this is an edifying class. We want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash.
The bonds of the apostles and others of Great Millstone that taught us the truth, and that's still teaching it. Much peace, love, and salutation begins to the 144,000 as well as to the large multitude that believe. Shalom.
Shalom.